baby back ribs, pressure cooked in Ninja's new one lid wonder. That's what I call it. They call it a smart lid, but the main attraction to it is this right here, which is a thermometer that you can use while you pressure cook. It's unheard of, and nothing else on the market has it. And I think it's not getting quite the love it should because it air fries and it does all the things the other ones do. It's only got one lid. It will automatically release the pressure. I could go on and on. You've probably already heard it from me before. But what we're going to do, we're going to cut these. I'm going to cut this down, and I'm going to put this in there, and we're going to set it to turn off when I want it to. Exact temp, whoever wants, whatever temp you want, it will turn it off. And then we're going to air fry them inside this same device with a very efficient exposed burner that works really well. And well, let's get it started. Okay, just to show you what we're working with, these are baby back ribs from Costco, which are called pork loin back ribs at their location. Now, I've got a half a rack left. There were 3 racks in here. I've done some testing and did some different methods, and going back to my main, which is pressure cook a little bit and then air fry. That's what we're doing tonight. I'm going to kind of center cut these out, and I'm going to show you why. A lot of people put them in the liquid and cook them. I just don't, and I don't think it works that well. And we can control the temp, so we know exactly what's going on. So I'm going to cut this down, take these off, and maybe these off, and then I'll have this to do with some other stuff. So, and then I can get my thermometer about right here in that thick part, somewhere along in here where we'll know, we can track that temp and know exactly what's going on. And if you've ever bought ribs from Costco, they already pull the membrane off. Now, I'm a big proponent of that. I believe it helps the seasoning get into the meat. So if this were not membrane was already gone, then I would do that. But, you do what you feel is best. I'm going to spray them down a little bit with this. I'm telling you all this because I'm not going to go over it all. Then I'm not going to show you all. When you come back, this will all be done. And then I'm going to cover it with what I think it needs of Killer Hogs barbecue rub. And then that'll go on when we start to air fry and kind of, crisp them up, or whatever you want to say, the Maillard. So I'll be back. Okay, so maybe I overshot. I wasn't going to show all this because I kind of need to. I got this part off because it's not as, it's a little different meat on that end of the baby back. And all of this will work excellent. It's just, and I can cook them, along by themselves, in other words. But this, if you can see that, it will fit in here very well. And that's what I cut it down for, is that purpose right there. So now, this is part I'm not going to show you. I'm going to spray this and then cover it with that, and I'll be back. Okay, right there is about what I put on it. You can tell by the board about how much I put on there. And all I did was put I sprayed a little avocado oil and then some Killer Hogs. I put on both sides. By the way, you can see it's on both sides. But the next step is to, I have already removed this, because if you have one of these, you know you have to do that. I'm going to try and hit the center of this rib in the thickest part as best I can. So we're going to about right there. And it may be hit or miss a little bit, but it's not that big a deal. Now, a lot of people cover their ribs in water. I don't, because to me, that's kind of like boiling them. But what I do, I'm going to add 1 cup of water right here. And then we're going to set this rib just like this, right there on the top rack. And you can see what I'm doing, I guess. And I'm going to clean that off a little bit. And then we're going right here. I've already removed the thing that you see right here, so obviously. So I got my 1 cup of water in there, and what I call my center cut rib, and that's what it looks like. So next step is to close that, put it to seal, turn it on, and then we're going to set it up, slide that all the way over, which is really neat, not having to use 2 lids on a pressure cooker and air fryer. You got 1 lid. The question may be whether I would go high or low. I'm going to use low. I just do. I think with meats, it's low and slow is my theory. I don't know whether that really works in this situation, but that's what I'm doing. All right, I'm going to hit manual temp control, which is that thermometer you just saw me put in. And I'm going to take that to 175. But that'll cut it off, and then we're going to do a natural release. So the temp's going to come to, you know, probably 190, 200 or so. The more you go, the tenderer it gets, but then you also kind of lose the bite through. So that's kind of a up in the air, whatever, you know, you like. So I got that closed. I got that ready. We're set to 175. We are off and running. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I wanted to show you right now, the temp is going up really quick. I think people overcook ribs in a pressure cooker by a long shot. Now, I have always said that, but my point is we're about to be at my 175 and we are right at 20 minutes into this cook. So it's about to cut off. All right, now it's going to start counting down for a natural release, and then we'll see what the temp is. I'm telling you, I think if you've ever looked at the way ribs look, a lot of times when people pull them out of a pressure cooker, they're way overcooked. So we're going to see how these look. Be back. All right, we got an open at about 7 minutes, and I think the pin is even down. So that's about 25 minutes or so, maybe 27, I guess. But let's see if we can open it. And we can. So let's see what we got. And dog's wanting in. He's kicking the door. We're going to see what we got on temp. But, well, let's look at it right quick. I'll show it to you. I guess I should have the camera a little higher. But it does not look bad. There's no doubt. Let's see what we got on temp. There's 180, 188, 190, and cooler than I want. Oh, that went out the bottom. I'm sorry. 192, 190, which that is probably a little less. I'd rather have another 10 degrees. I'll put it like that. I'm going to let it rest a minute. Then we're going to put some baby rays on it, and then we're going to air fry it. So I'm going to leave that closed. Okay, so we're at 15 minutes past the open mark, and I'm going to move the camera. I got it a little higher so we can see what's happening. And there that is. Whoops, picked up the wrong thing. And I may have to move over here a little bit because this is where the magic happens and where the ribs start, where any of them you're cooking, start looking a lot better. Now, you can do both sides if you want, but it's okay if you just do this one. You can put sauce on the other side, and you probably will when you put it on, you know, when you got it on a plate. So I'm just going to put that amount right there, and then we're going to do a temp that, well, I've tried my dog again. Well, I've tried the 450, and it was so efficient, or this element is so efficient, I guess you'd say, and it being uncovered and all, it's just more than I wanted. It does it quicker, and it will get it really charred in a hurry. So I'm going to lower that back down. I'm going to back it up so you can see the settings I'm doing. And let's see. In fact, you have to turn it all the way off to go to air fry. So we're going to do that, or hit start, stop. And then I'm going to leave it on air fry. I'm going to take this to 375. That's what I found, to me, has been working good. Now, I don't worry about a time because I'm going to stand here. I know it's not going to be 20 minutes. So we'll just go to, say, 10 or whatever, but I wouldn't even leave it 10. We're going to watch it. It maybe 4 or 5. You'll see. So I'm going to hit start, off and running, and we'll see what it looks like in just a few minutes. Okay, we're coming up on 9 minutes, which is a little more than I expected to use, but let's see. They look excellent. That's where I'm going to end them. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, I pressed start on this recipe at about, or on that beginning these ribs at 11:55. So we're right around 45 minutes cook time. So what we're going to do, I'm going to pull these out, and I bet that's hot. So I'm going to grab something to do that with. As a matter of fact, this will do it. And we're going to take those out. I got to get that loose, and then we'll lift these out of here. And, well, if I could get out from under that racking, I would. And now get the probe out from under the rack. We'll set those right there, and I'll let those rest just a minute. We'll take a temp. Let's see what they got right here. We got 187. If I don't go out the bottom of it, 186, 187. And well, it's plenty safe to eat. Probably 190. A lot of people shoot for that. I'd rather have 200, but I promise you, these will probably be excellent. I have a feeling they will be. I'm going to get something to pull that out with, and then we'll cut them up and see what they look like. All right, right there are the ribs. Let's take a cut and see how they look. Now, they are rather hot, so I'm going to do that in a hurry. And they look as excellent as you might expect, or as I expected. I'm going to make this a 2-rib cut. Man, that is hot. So I'm going to make this 2 ribs at a time. I'm not going to be able to hold on to them as I do it. There's the backside that I can put all the sauce on I want. And I'm probably going to let these cool just a little bit longer once I've cut them. But I'm still going to go ahead and put a little of this on there. So, all right, there they are, sauced up. They're probably still fairly hot, but let's see. I just want to give an idea of what they look like cut. You know, just cut with a knife instead of bit. Just cut. And they look great. And they taste great. And I'll add this right here. A lot of people worry about adding smoky flavor or something. 9 out of 10 barbecue sauces have a smoke flavor in them. That one has hickory. I'm going to give it a bite through test right here on camera where I can finish eating these. So there you go. Really close to competition, if you ask me. That's what I call competition ribs. Bite through test. It means a bunch. And there's what it looks like if I can get it to continuously focus. Maybe not. There we go. What I say, 45 minutes versus 7 hours on the grill. Especially the 3-2-1 is 6, and some people go 7. Anyhow, hey, I love y'all. Y'all come back to see me. Really, this thing's not getting the love it should. If you look at this right here, the other features are great too. The one lid, the automatic release. That right there is, I don't even know how to say it. I never thought we would see pressure cooking with a thermometer. Here it is. Bye. Y'all have a good night.